So get all these sounds on. That production though. Welcome back, guys. This is the end of Group A. This is going to be, of course, the best of 3 conclusion with Demuslim and Dayshi. We're running a little bit ahead of schedule. I can promise nothing, but I will promise to try to get Group B started as soon as humanly possible if we can round up the players for it. As once again, we are ahead of schedule. If I can't, we'll let you guys know. We'll give updates and frequents and blah, 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 blah. But for now, let's hop into the match. Spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map. Playing for Millennium. It's going to be the Yellow Terran player. For the last time today, Dayshi.
In the upper left, is the Teal Terran. It's EG's Demuslim.
Okay, so Demuslim. Good sight, good fight, good series. Has completely turned this around from the, I'd say more or less 2-over walkover that Dayshi gave him the first time. I mean, or not walkover, like just walk through, I guess. I don't know. He made Demuslim look easy. Demuslim says, you know what? Once, just once you get to do that, never again. So he's brought it back in a really nice way. Dayshi got to be a little bit not happy about the situation. I definitely do regard him as one of the better foreigners, but for Demuslim to beat him, like, should that be the case, certainly well earned. Someone in the Team Liquid thread put a good post up, or maybe I misinterpreted it because I only looked for like a second, but something about being like underrated by fans and overrated by players, or maybe the other way around. I definitely think Demuslim is a bit of an oddball when it comes to, I guess, rating him, but the thing is, he'll surprise you and come out with good play, and he's certainly shown that today.
Yeah, yeah. There is always times, right, where like, for a month or two, people would start saying, oh, Demuslim's totally on top form. Like, just you wait, man. I know In Control is the biggest perpetrator of this, and okay, yes, there's a lot of bias in that. There's a lot of bias in that, but, you know, I wouldn't actually say, like, In Control is that type of guy who was always like, I don't know, like, I actually believe him. Maybe he thought that Demuslim was, like, really, really good, and Demuslim is, like, top 8 on a European ladder, then, like, Demuslim is really good. That's actually, like, factual proof right there. But he just never actually showed it in tournaments. That was always his weakness. And that's, you know, that probably contributed to his mental state more than anything else. It was just like being very good and never being able to show it. Being a ladder hero, I guess. There's a couple of those, right?
I suppose. I mean, I hate that term though, like ladder hero, because it's almost like it is derogatory in all honesty. But
yeah,
the thing
people,
is, like,
yeah.
If you're number 1 on ladder, you've got the chops to take on a lot of these guys. Maybe you just don't play in a lot of the tournaments, or maybe you're busy being inactive, or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but 1 Reaper, 1 SUV, got the potential to get some kills here. Actually, if you're trying to get an SUV for free, turn around.
SUV will help attack.
Yes. Oh, burst. There you go.
Just alert him to this, but with 3 Marines, he actually has no problem with this at all. Oh, he's gonna get that Reaper! Oh! Oh, that's actually kind of a big misstep for Dayshi.
That is, because you didn't get any information from this. And, well, okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. The second Reaper is gonna come, but yeah, losing that first one does suck. He'll go up the Reaper cliff this time. Someone asking, was Rifkin right? Do Marines have Gauss rifles? Yes, the C-14 Gauss rifle is their weapon. Come on, guys. Come on.
Oh, I thought the Musk was gonna. Oh, I didn't know it was the second Reaper. So this Reaper will be able to scout. Won't see the Tech Lab moving, so maybe gonna go ahead and guess it's a Raven opener, not a Banshee opener.
Does lose 2 Reapers to this though, does Dayshi. That's not a great opener as far as I guess cost effectiveness, but it's a bit scary too because he did take his own CC. There's not a lot you can really do. It's not like you cancel it once it's complete. So he knows a lot of units are going to be coming his way. And the question isn't so much about matching what Demuslim's bringing, but it's more like being prepared for what Demuslim's bringing.
I think Demuslim, you know, he had a lot of success in both Overgrowth games with that tank drop. With cross position on such a big map, obviously it's a much more delayed. I mean, boost is boost, right? But it's a delayed attack, but I still think it's very strong. Wouldn't be surprised if we try to do it again with this Raven popping out. Dayshi did expand awfully early, and if I was Demuslim and I had scouted this, which, you know what? Oh, Demuslim knows where he is, but hasn't actually scouted the base. But whenever I see like an early CC in a mirror matchup or an early expand, I'm just like, you son of a...
you something or other.
And I just like, half deal damage like a principal.
Wait, what,
agree with me?
school?
That's not funny. No one's laughing.
You know what? Do you ever learn to spell it like Principal because they're your pal? I hate that because I still remember that to this day. Like, that's always spell principal in my head.
I just learned how to, spell it the normal way. Like
Whatever,
learning
dude.
to spell it.
Or like WED NES Day.
No,
your Nintendo
restaurant always throws me off, man. I freaking hate that word. I still can't spell it right. I'm always like, is it restaurant?
Restar.
Or restaurant?
Yeah, restaurant.
Okay, but is it ant or aunt? Like, which one are you talking about?
Yeah.
Ah.
Word triggers, man. There's some other stuff I can't think off the top of my head, but like, yeah, I've definitely got a couple of those weird ways to spell things. But Demuslim coming out here with not. Oh, he's gonna go for 2 tanks.
Called it. It's just a really good. Like, it's like the best move besides the one-on-one base with the Hellions that Terran has versus other Terrans. It's so infuriating, though, right?
Too. Like Dayshi, every time he's seen this coming, this time he might not. That's
true too. So while it is. Oh, don't you go over that Zelnaga. Don't you go over that Zelnaga to Muslim.
He's not. Look at the rally.
Okay, good.
Oh,
right,
man, the Raven's already over here. He's like, what's up, guys? What took you so long?
If you're going to go all the way around on such a huge map, you better not be spotted. All right, this could get real dangerous real fast. But it is only appropriate revenge. The Muslim was the one that called Dayshi cheesy in that first series, remember? So
Yes. Oh, okay, this is a good start. When you unload like this, auto turret's coming down. Tank's going to be in a really nice spot. These auto turrets are actually in range of both the SCVs as well as the command center. That medevac needs to move its bus. There we go, butt out of the way. Oh, this is bad
Hellions.
for Dayshi.
Mass Hellions.
Yeah, but you remember the first time. Well, it was Hellions that tried to break this the first time. The Muslim had that focus fire.
Exactly. This time, Dayshi. Oh no, he had his own movie last time too. It's pretty identical to that first Overgrowth game. Might want to lift his Marines after the damage done.
Like, where's the goal for this fight, right? The Muslim's actually not focus fighting this time. Auto attacking the auto turrets. These tanks are going to go down. He's going to try and save one. Doesn't quite get it. The Raven will also fall to Muslim. Why you do this? Oh wait, he goes to hide it. He's like a ninja. But the Viking catches on. It's like, yo, you could easily save these Ravens. It infuriates me actually watching this.
That command center got so low. But even though it didn't die, he still killed a ton of Hellions. 13 CDs also went down. I mean, he actually killed like most of Dayshi's army.
Yeah.
So there's no threat of a counterattack. If there was, like, wall off, it's Hellions. Buy some time. You'll be fine.
So scary though. I mean.
It is, not against tanks. And Demuslim did recognize, hey, it was 2 factories, so I'm gonna make Marauders. So.
Oh, beginning is another word I hate spelling. Sorry, I just had to bring that up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, beg.
Don't share the feelings on that one.
Like INN, ing. Yeah, actually, I remember like back in like the days of MSN, I would get so frustrated. I'd be like starting. You just like go for like the different word.
I love when that happens. Like sometimes on stream, I'll like be talking to an opponent, and I realize I don't know how to spell a word, so I just pretend like, oh, I'm not gonna say it anyways.
Yeah, you just go for like something. Just reach in your pocket for something else.
I just couldn't spell that word. It's pretty bad. Well, the Muslims in a what?
I was just gonna say, being an adult is like a struggle on a daily basis.
People make fun of you so much for not knowing stuff too. That's like the worst thing about it. Like no one just calmly says like, "Oh yeah, that's a difficult word to remember how to spell." People are always like, "Lol, they didn't know how to spell it."
Freaking idiot. So let's talk about this for a moment. Actually, getting back into the game, Demuslim. What is this, like every game? Dayshi's been the one to take his third first. Like he's got the third CC down, but still recovering the main, so he hasn't moved it out yet. I also love where Demuslim chose to take this, because we've always talked about how this base here, the one Dayshi's taking, is going to be really susceptible to tank fire.
Yeah. Wow, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, siege up on the low ground, get some Marines in hold position, have yourself a barbecue, kill a lot of SCVs.
It also just spreads Dayshi out more, The third that a Muslim took, you're kind of still compact on 3 bases. The third that Dayshi took, you're going to be far away. And he's going mech too. So when a Muslim gets that drop opportunity again in that same space that he did, it's going to take so long for Dayshi to respond with anything but Hellions.
Well, Blue Flame, as you see, is quite volatile and can roast up the Marines pretty quickly, but the Muslims going very Marauder heavy, and It's so weird trying to explain this dynamic to anyone who's never played mech versus WTB, but I mean the reality is like you have to go Marauders. You never see it in most matchups. We didn't see it at all last game. And
Ooh,
it's,
double Hellbat drops.
Let's get the bunker though. The big part of like why you have to do this, wow, that was a bold come back with the SCVs. It's because the Hellions are just gonna wreck your Marines every single time. But here we go, as expected. Sieging up, unloading here on the high ground even a little bit too. This base for Dayshi is not going to get a lot of mining done, and this is why Demuslim chose to take the other one. This could have happened to him as well.
Yeah, especially with the mech player. Demuslim up 50 supply, Dayshi on a composition that can definitely bring you into a long game even when you're a little behind, but not without a third base. He needs this base. If you don't get a fourth base mech player, like that sucks, but like maybe I can still survive to 200-200. No third, no 5th and 6th gases. It's gonna take forever to get to 200. It's bad.
Some girls confirmed they're illiterate. Shut up, guys. Okay.
Whatever, man. You probably even slow.
Okay, so Daishi's removing spam, so there's not enough Marines to kill it, so it's not really that big of a danger. He is stepping forward best. You see, it's too close to the blue flame. It's like, oh right, let's back away from that then.
You're so close to getting the Raven. Almost worth. Almost.
Almost worth. Still a lot of presence, as you point out, with the massive supply lead for Demuslim. Unlike Bio versus Bio, this is actually an effective supply lead. There are a lot of tanks for Dayshi though, so defending this choke at the natural could happen for quite some time. I mean, Demuslim, it's just about making sure someone that takes that third.
Yeah. And again, that position is still open. Yes, there's one turret and a barracks really like to notify, hey, Demuslim is dropping you, but still could be very potent.
But Viscerous nullify a lot of the Marauder damage, but there's just too many tanks behind. There's Marines on top of it as well. If you break the tanks, he's in a good spot. So let's run away from him.
Oh, well, now
instead.
He's out of position. Like, don't base the tanks, just go into the natural.
It's good bump kills the tanks. Marauder's pretty good at doing just precisely that. Dayshi does land his third CC, but we'll see if it's worth it or not, because he's got to defend this natural. When you land one base, you got to lift the other.
Muslim should stop rallying into the tank fire. Just
yes, that would
good
be
thing to do.
With Marines. The point of Vinstrom's regenerating a little bit of energy, so Marauders actually do nothing. Otherwise, would have normally killed a tank there.
Alright, so the Muslim supply, like, he had a much bigger supply than I mentioned before, but...
Yeah, but he's also, I didn't even realize, he was rallying medevacs into the Vikings the whole time, too. I was like, where are the medevacs at this whole time? But as we can see through the actual units lost, he lost them to the Vikings.
Oh wow, those Marauders had so quickly.
Dayshi finally breaks this attack.
Yeah, so Demuslim, he looked so good, but maybe overstepping his boundaries a little too much. Now only up by 6 supply. Up a base, which is pretty good, and upgrades as well. But supply isn't there to like really start like that multi-pronged harass again.
Credit goes to Dayshi. I think holding that was a lot more difficult than it looked, especially when you're playing mech, but I mean, this point defense drones, Demuslim's stupid rallies, I mean, this went really well for Dayshi. And I know it's kind of a negative thing to say, and I'm not trying to bog down Demuslim. I want to clarify, I'm not calling him stupid, but those rallies, man, fed so many into those tanks, fed so many medevacs to those Vikings.
Yeah, and you know that Widowmine has also been racking up the kills?
Is this thing still
kills.
alive?
They're not like
it is.
really racking, but I guess it's racking up so much damage. If there was a damage meter...
It would make it so the tanks actually probably one-shot things instead of 2 or 3 shot. By the way, I learned you can install a damage meter, but it would just take up so many resources in StarCraft 2, it wouldn't be worth it.
I'd be very disappointed if Demuslim tries to like break through this just like head on. There's so many other type of opportunities on this map. You know, go drop on that old third. Well,
drop
actually,
in the
no.
natural even pick up there.
Yeah, just drop in the main. All right, that's actually what I'm just really gonna go to. Right, drop in the main. There is one freaking turret.
Actually, he doesn't even have to go through the turret. He just fly over top of the factories.
Just something. Okay, he does. He loads up everything. He has another force coming in, so when Dayshi unsieges from his third, he will be able to maybe kill it. This is what I was waiting for.
Okay, gets past the turrets. Second one not done just yet. Medevacs all do stay alive to the start of this. As you point out,
he's got to do something with a drop though. He's not actually targeting anything.
Right, he's got 2
there
more
he goes.
drops
Target
coming.
command center.
Unloads directly on top of the tanks. Whoa, 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 whoa! Demuslim, are you unloading a tank on top of your opponent's tanks? That's not how you kill tanks.
That drop didn't actually focus anything. It focused a gas geyser.
Oh my god. Demuslim perhaps falling a little bit apart here.
Finally, SCVs being targeted.
10 SCVs down. Starting to clean this up a little bit. Vikings on the ground.
Oh, Marines.
2 Marines are actually doing more damage than the entire drop. Say, Demuslim once again throws away a lot of his army, but you'll notice he's still ahead. He can do this. He can afford it. He's on more bases than Dayshi.
Yeah, about to go on a 5th right now with absolutely no pressure from Dayshi. He did 2 Hellbot drops. That was it. As long as Demuslim doesn't throw away his entire army, Dayshi pushing across the map is going to take so long. Like,
oh my god, no. I was gonna say one thing we haven't really talked about here, upgrades for Dayshi. I mean, yeah, you don't worry about armor upgrades or anything like that, but Demuslim's 3-3, I just realized is gonna tear through this, like so hardcore. I forgot the 3-3 was on the way for him. Doesn't really need his own mech upgrades, but as we see, he's just gonna get on top of the tanks. Not a problem, no buffer, not enough Hellbats.
Yeah, shouldn't continue pushing in. There's too many tanks. Push in towards the 4th. Push in towards the 4th.
Okay, he clumps up, so it
chunks
starts
there.
banging. The Thors coming out are a little bit scary too. This will start zoning out that air more so than ever. Because Thors, if they've got one thing, it's range.
Yeah. Also, maybe a little scared that Demuslim might try going for a Sky Toss transition. Because he's still banking up a lot of Vikings. Maybe thinking of his own Sky Terran transition. Demuslim throws away too much right there. Not so much that Dayshi counterattacks, because again, it's going to take him so long to get across the map, but loses out in that big supply lead he had.
What is this? Partout says if I could time out Rifkin, he'd be banned from the entire internet? Bro, we made like a currency system named after
Seems
you.
like unnecessarily BM.
Right? And now we got all this Kappa BS in chat and you're talking about timing Rifkin out? Partout, man. You should be called Illidan because you're the betrayer. Ugh. Nerd lore. Nerd jokes. Oh, we got Starbuck in chat. That's why we got so many Kappas. That guy. Playing tomorrow in our tournament, actually.
Ew.
Alright, well, Demuslim, perhaps he doesn't know about this tank ledge, I wonder? We'll find out here in a moment. Yeah.
You really want to get rid of these Vikings. I mean, taking care of the medevacs just adds so much. These Vikings are so useful.
Loving the attack rally, and medevacs basically F off. Just leave right away. The Thors are still a weird investment to see. Oddly enough, I think one of the most efficient units that Dayshi's had all game is a Widowmine. I would love to see another couple of those coming out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But okay, the army for Demuslim's pretty weak in here. This one medevac's pretty much out of energy. Not a lot Demuslim can really get done here. But again, it doesn't really matter if he loses anything because he's got the 5th base up and a 6th on the way.
Now it's getting like increasingly less important about that though, because Dayshi is now on 4 bases, which is very comfortable for a mech player.
Well, I would agree, but well, actually, you know what? You bring up a great point. I'll take that back. I was gonna be like tentative to agree, but yeah, the geysers of course mean so much more than the minerals. Oh, does need to saturate the geysers though. Speaking of which,
yeah, that'll be useful. He is actually starving on gas. See, that is a big step.
My Viking's going to try and get involved in the fight once again. He's been serving Dayshi very well this game. Secret Missile should be able to kill this tank. If Thor doesn't, Thor does kill the tank. Ooh, the splash damage still goes down. But we see Corvid Reactor coming out of Dayshi. And this is getting to that point of the game where, let's be quite honest here, guys, whether you're playing Bio or whether you're playing Mech, your end game is that air. That's Sky Terran, Ravens, Battlecruisers, Vikings, you name it.
I'm so surprised that Demuslim has not tried to transition, or at least prepare. You know, 1 or 2 more starports, maybe isn't actually making Ravens Vikings yet, but at least prepare. He's really sticking on this composition, which so far Dayshi has had a pretty good hold on defending against. This drop is pretty good. Finally finds an undefended position.
It's so strange to see Marauders be so efficient. Normally these are just horrible this late in the game, but good drops, good positioning, getting around Dayshi's army. Picks off a couple
Still
tanks
not that
before
great.
down.
Still really not that great. Couple tanks, couple SCVs, no big deal. The more Ravens that Dayshi gets too, like the better his final attack will be, because there'll be so many point defense drones.
Yeah. Point defense drones going to nullify a lot of that damage, but also gives them more potential for secret missiles. Like, a lot of the times we'll see players like Demuslims bank up like a secret Viking count behind this and surprise Dayshi. Secret missiles way better than those scenarios.
True. Finally gets rid of that army that was off to the right, but it's just... it's starting to feel like banging your head against a brick wall. Like eventually the Muslim will make one big mistake and Dayshi will actually still have like a 180 supply, you know? It just almost needs to happen. He will start to move across the map with a really great army.
Yeah, it is scary though, because you gotta consider too, while he's so far off from this happening, Dayshi might eventually starve out of this game if he never secures that 5th.
It's possible. It is possible.
It's unlikely, but it is possible, and we've seen it happen to mech players way more than bio players. This is one of the reasons I bring this up. But big drop coming down. Oh, big drop. Big freaking drop.
Do something. Like,
what is this, 15 medevacs?
Oh, God.
15 medevacs all with units inside of it? Yeah, there's a planetary fortress down, but who cares? He's not going to go for that base. He's going down here towards the natural, towards the main.
This might be finally what the Muslim needed. You know, seeing that, oh, okay, that natural is undefended.
Some super missiles coming out of this might be good. Point of fencer is used instead. But the army for Dayshi's just not positioned, and the Seeker Missile certainly won't, well, I guess a decent connect, I guess. Vikings in the air are going to slowly clean up the medevacs, but damn if this isn't going to do a lot of damage before going down.
Kill your army, go in the main. Okay. He's using a bunch of stuff, like maybe unnecessarily. Loses a big chunk of the army. About half of what was dropped actually goes into the main, but that is definitely enough to start taking down factory production.
She needs to get something back up here in the main. There's really nothing here. Lift up, save the factories might just be the best bet, because we see the Muslim focusing the buildings. Who cares about the Hellbats? Kill the starport, kill the factories, kill the production of your opponents.
It still wasn't as great as I thought it would be. That was much better than the other ones, but still, like, you know, you expect a doom drop like that to kill everything in the main. But Dayshi holds on just barely. Still down by 30 supply. The Muslim still is on like 7 bases now.
I had such a weirdo dumbass moment just now. Like the starport was burning with no health, so I decided to click it to see just how much health it had, and it died as I clicked it. I'm like, whoa, did I just do that? Not quite gonna get this.
That mule is a hero.
Yeah, well, lifting the CC is also kind of nice too. It's, you know, stop the damage altogether. Pushing on top of the tanks here, 3 of them, 4 of them should be able to hold a little bit.
This might be the opportunity he needed. He took down a bunch of the production. He took down a lot of tanks. Well, maybe not enough. Still a bunch for
There's
Dayshi.
so many tanks, and this is why I was saying like the end game composition's battle cruisers, right? Can you imagine if the Muslim, not battle cruisers, can you imagine if the Muslim had like a couple Banshees? There's like what, 2 Vikings, 1 Thor? Yeah.
That's what we usually see, because they usually start making up a ton, because they have so many bases that they transition and surprise their opponent. But
well, that's why I'm shocked the game's still at the stage it is. Normally one has transitioned into that. We saw Dayshi sort of move towards it, you know, Ravens and Corporate Reactor and whatnot, but
it's still working out for Demuslim really well. It's 31 minutes. He's been doing nothing but bio this entire time, but finally starting to make like really, really great trades. Where Dayshi he is actually going to starve out. He's not going to be able to get 5th base. His main, his natural, they're all running out, and the Muslim has never been attacked.
Well, this has been a little bit more back and forth than I thought it was going to be. Definitely some moments in this game where I thought it was going to be over with like the nice engagement, but both players holding on quite well. I'm loving the turrets coming down here too for Dayshi. Like I think he recognizes his AA is a little bit limited, so rather than risk his opponent having a bunch of Banshees, get some turrets down. The Muslim, by the way, taking hella command centers behind this. I mean, he's just gonna mule hammer the hell out of this base.
Yeah. Big surround going in.
Point fences are good though. See if this is gonna be good enough. Holds the left side. He's got to push back the right.
He'll hold.
Yeah, he'll hold. There's too many tanks.
Still taking a lot of damage. Again, his production not that great. His economy not that great. But Demuslim does throw away a lot of army. His pick really isn't that great as much as you expect for having like 7 orbitals.
But this is the thing, right? It's so difficult breaking tanks when you've got. I mean, tanks alone are hard enough, but when there's like 20 plus because you're playing mech, oh boy, that's not fun.
It is, and that's why we see the transition so that they can actually break them. It still comes down to the question though, is like, what is Dayshi's end goal right here? I thought maybe he was waiting for that perfect engagement where he's still like 180 to that huge mistake and he can actually push. But now like that's so far away of like happening again. Because he keeps getting shot down to 130, 140. So what is he going to wait for to actually do something?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised we're not seeing Hellbats come into this either. There would have been some great buffer to have a lot of those. I mean, there's a couple, but I mean, a lot of them.
Maybe starting to realize that, like, maybe the Muslim has, like, the entire map by now.
We get 2 donations, by the way, I missed to get caught up on here real quick. Hobslot donated $50. No message attached. Jesus, man, thank you so much for that donation. And Derlino just donated 15. Says, money for you, use wisely, pancakes. He is gonna hate, but we still love you. Oh, well, thank you very much, man. Thank you, both of you. Seriously. What over Super Plate? We got a Secret Missile coming down here. Actually starting to rile up a little bit. Not gonna kill anything, though. Secret Missiles are good, but not that good. I'm surprised Dayshi's held this base for as long as he has.
Yeah, well, the Muslim has gotten, like, you know, as a mech or as a bio player, you're not going to have that many tanks, so. I don't know. Hellions do get to a mineral line. The Muslim just now starting the high-sec auto tracking.
Yeah, without that range bonus, things can get behind the mineral lines. Tanks unseized and attack command center unscathed. But looks like this base might finally get broken. Push it, Mark. At least the sensor tower. I mean, that thing's expensive to build.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dayshi, you can see his money. It's really starting to just die down right now. Doom drop on top of a bunch of turrets. Just lose a few.
Into tank
not the best. Maybe not the best. But it's like, I feel like if this was like a map that was like a lot shorter, some of these engagements were like, oh, the Muslim, you just give away a lot of units. Dayshi actually does counterattack and deals some damage, but it's so like long that Daishi's been playing this super ultra passive game. He hopes he can get the 200 supply. Like, it's never gonna happen. You're never gonna be able to push out if that's what you're waiting for.
Yeah, the Muslim's just been beating him into submission this whole time. He does have a base up here on the right finally, but it's, yeah, as you said, the waiting game's never gonna pay off for Dayshi. And it's just the nature of playing mech versus bio. I mean, it's not even like Demuslim or Daishi's playing this necessarily better or worse than the other. It's just they're both making the best of what they got, and Demuslim's making it a little bit better with what he's got.
Yeah. It just, I feel like the bio player on this map is so comfortable, right? So there's like a bunch of good moves that Demuslim is making to make him comfortable, but just like going into the game knowing that Dayshi was going for mech, he's like, really? Mech? Man, I have like the biggest opportunity to like attack and not worry about you counterattacking, because like, look how far you have to go. Look how much concave position I have to try and do that.
Right, and in the past, the Muslims had to build hella turret rings, super defense, like, there's almost nothing at home. To consider like a Hellion run by, a hell bad drop, or even a Raven with some auto turrets could cause a lot of counterattack damage to this game, but Dayshi unable to spare even a single unit just because of how tight his defenses had to be this entire game.
Yeah. And it might sound like I'm bashing mech on this map. I'm actually just bashing like endgame mech on this map. Like the mid game, you get 4 bases pretty easily. That's why Protoss like this map, right? Because you get 3 and 4 bases very easily, which is great for a mech player. But that attack that you would have where you're like really powerful in the mid game never happened. The Muslims kept on pushing back.
This is what I'm liking to see though. The Hellbats cover a lot better for the tanks and
yeah, that's
less losses. But at the same time,
that's another type of drop where I'm like, if we're like on overgrowth, maybe Dayshi tries to push finally. Okay, maybe, okay, yeah, he's finally going. Get a little tired of this waiting game, maybe. But now we have that, like, you know, runaway kite. Dayshi moving across the map is gonna lose so much supply.
If the Ravens had a little more energy, this looks a little bit different. Of course, Secret Missiles are aiding, and that's wonderful, but point defense turns, I think, would have been way better in this scenario. Win against the Marauders, counter push into the tanks, win. But sadly, Dayshi loses a lot of supply, and the Muslim, once again, just seems to have that lead. And let's be honest, when you've got all of the bases on your side of the map, and then you start taking the other side of the map, you're in a pretty good spot, a pretty comfortable spot.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about the era transition mostly for the Muslim. It kind of sounds silly to suggest a era transition for the mech player, like Battlecruiser Banshee, Ravens, but really there's actually so few like Marines that you get with a bio tank composition against mech. They sometimes work out. We've actually seen mech players go for like 4 Banshees. Remember, I can't remember who it was, but the Banshees probably, but the Banshees actually won out because I mean, look at this view right now. How many like Marines are there? 4 Banshees, a couple of Ravens, like 2 Battlecruisers actually takes that on, and the Muslim has no air support. Yeah, and this is all something like Dayshi would have done a long time ago, because now there's no way you afford it, right? But that's maybe the last push, maybe? Nope.
Secret Missile is going to get a decent connector in a couple of those units towards the end. Dayshi will finally get a bit of breathing room, but I still don't think it's enough to counter push to win.
The Muslim is playing a 41-minute game of try and kill Dayshi. Like, it's not even about Dayshi, like doing anything himself.
The Muslim's not throwing this game. Daishi's just defending incredibly well. And breaking a mech player, I mean, you could ask a Zerg player how frustrating that is, right? It's not a whole lot different in TVT.
Yeah, which is why we usually see a transition.
Right,
it's less about like it being better, because the Muslim's doing pretty good with bio, right? It's more about like the haste in which you do end the game.
Yo, you remember that one time we were ahead of schedule?
I know. What?
I tried snooping off one of those medevacs, not too bad.
I swear, if Dayshi like just like through sheer willpower comes back in this game, I quit. I quit.
No, if Dayshi comes back in this game, he just absolutely deserves to be in the round of 8. Is what it boils down to. But what's so frustrating is we keep talking about these transitions, right? And it's kind of, I'd say, necessary because we're getting to the point in the game where both players, yeah, they might be on 7 or 8 bases, but they're not going to have any actual money to work with. And if that's the case, they're never going to be able to get that one Banshee out of that one Battlecruiser type thing. This medevac, by the way, oh my god, skin of its teeth gets in your 10 health remaining. Vikings, please, just at least kill it for the sake of it. There you go.
I don't even, Rifkin. I don't even. I feel like we've exhausted so many of like 42 minutes, and like 30 of it has just been talking about how the Muslim is pretty much going to win this game just in a very long period of time.
We might be like 42 minutes into the game, but not a single swarm house has been made. Yeah, that sound good. Doesn't like that joke.
Yeah, I didn't. Totally was listening.
Well, I think one of the things right now, guys, and this is kind of key, the Muslim has got to be getting frustrated. He's taken almost every base on this half of the map, and he's not been able to crack Dayshi. This could be a situation, potentially, where it goes to the point where no one has any money left, but Dayshi's still continuing to expand. I am still mind-boggled that he's got Raven count that he hasn't really been able to utilize. Like, well, hang on, talk about this in a sec. Sea missiles are going to dud out by the looks of it. A couple going to go off on tanks, but every time I see a secret missile go off on a tank, I'm like, that could have just been a Banshee shot. You know, like one Banshee, please.
I'm really running out of things to say. It's 45 minutes and the Muslim has been doing the same thing he's been doing for the last 30 minutes. Same for Dayshi, just defend, defend, defend. Get a couple of Ravens, I guess, but just defend, defend, defend. The farther Dayshi goes out, though, you would think that the easier time the Muslim has in attacking. Like, he should not be able to get that base all the way to the north. That should be like an attack over there and attack to the south, and suddenly Dayshi is screwed.
Yeah. Oh, who's this? Shout out to SC2RSC. They're hosting our channel to 1 viewer, and that's fine, but that's cool because we never get hosted, so big shout out to that guy. Rocks at the back here, broken. The Muslim finally finds a hole in Dayshi's defense, walks right in with the majority of his army. Dayshi's army's in the top right, ready to defend against up there, but instead it's his production that's going to get compromised. Factories are going to go down. This won't simply be tech labs. Oh my god, Zombie Ups, the Muslim finally going to hit this game? No, these units are so overstimmed. They're getting destroyed by the tank shots.
They're attacking things they really shouldn't be.
Secret missiles coming down. Ready from above. Only one connects, but it kills almost a quarter of the bio. But this is all the factories going down.
70 supply of 70 supply of units for 4 factories, really?
Oh, and he gets almost all the medevacs. So what's Dayshi gonna do at this point? This would be the perfect opportunity to say screw it, go air. But yeah, he actually has 2 factories of production right now. This is not going to cut it. He's never been maxed. He's never going to be maxed at this rate.
This is probably pretty infuriating for the Muslim. He probably thought he was going to win this like 20 minutes ago.
Right.
Head
the thing is,
wall.
Like, we're not joking about this. The Muslim could still lose this game, and this isn't like one of those, like, well, it's anybody's series, it's 1-1, maybe it goes back and forth. I mean, he could actually lose this game if he throws away too many resources in the hole. I mean, look at the resources lost right now. Okay, it's a little bit better. But...
He has so many bases, and so many of them are mined out, too. Like, his first 4 bases are mined out. No, his first 5 bases are mined out. Oh my god.
This is so stupid. The Muslim has taken so much money this game, and he's lost so much more than he's taken, and still unable to break Dayshi.
I love long TVTs, but usually they're back and forth. This isn't back and forth.
This has been the Muslim like running into a wall, like over and over, and that wall is full of spikes.
The first 25 minutes is pretty funny, but
the secret missiles! Oh, they picked up the medevacs! The Muslim's so sick, but I hate you because I wanted Dayshi to break you so he could go and do something.
It's never gonna happen, man.
So sick.
I really want to be like,
you know what?
It's like less is like a taunting or like any like I don't know. I just want to ask like Dayshi, what is the plan in this type of scenario? As like a pro gamer, what would you think is your way in coming back into this game?
Battle cruisers, man. Bitches.
I actually think a surprise air intrusion wouldn't be that bad. Again, like low numbers of Marines don't deal that well. Like arrogance bio laughable, not really.
Cardiff got again. 2 drops. Not gonna do crazy damage. Ugh. But there's really Dayshi's moved a lot of his production, right? Like it's built over here in the top right-ish.
He's like actually it's just oh my god, it's pick up everything and move it over there.
Well, it's not even pick it up. It's more like, okay, I lost it, so I guess I'm gonna build it over
you
here.
You should just pick everything up though. I mean seriously, like rebuild the energy base, rebuild the supply depots, just move it over there.
I agree. There's no reason to have any presence in this opening, in this defensive weakness that he has in the back.
That'd be so funny if it was just like that's the way like in the future in 5 years from now when everyone's like a god at StarCraft 2. That's the way like Bio vs. Mech is played. They slowly rotate around the map, switching their bases over.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, I'll take your tech lab since you abandoned them earlier. Okay, this push is gonna be huge though. There's not a lot of tanks up here for Dayshi. Oh, he's coming back to defend, but I mean the Ravens are so far, the tanks are really far away. Secret missiles are gonna go down. The Planetary Fortress is trying to hold, but there's too many Marauders. It does go down. Secret missiles are gonna kill some tanks, but will that be enough? There's still a lot of bio underneath this. I'll get some good connections with those Marines. Dayshi looks like he might just barely hold this, and I hate him for it. I'm just so mad at both of these players at this point. Okay,
you know,
the Muslim.
I understand.
No, look at this.
Wanted...
He's making headway though towards the south. All jokes aside, that attack was great. It shut down one of Dayshi's new mining bases, which was a critical one. He's got a pretty good assault here on the south. They can find a way you want to shoot, dude. Just depots in the Planetary Fortress. Jesus.
Stopping that one factory production from the main. Very good.
Excellent. Drop's
right.
gonna unload the 2 Marines here, I guess.
This has got to be it, right? It's 5k, 3k in the bank for the Muslim. Dayshi,
but here's the thing,
bank.
like, not only is this got to be it, it's the Muslim over Dayshi. I would have never seen this coming in this group. Never.
Yeah, okay, 51 minutes in, we can finally start talking about, like, who's probably gonna win, almost for sure. And we can talk about, oh my god, it's the Muslim! Oh, dunk it.
Not high, not high.
Dayshi and Bly were my 2 to come out of this group, not
right? You like
fall out of the group.
I would have agreed with that statement 100%, but instead we have Little Bow into Muslim.
Little Bow. Is it a fun name?
By the way, I put it, Muslim's still taking more bases.
I'm actually surprised at how patient he wasn't taking bases, right? If I was at a 40-minute mark, I would have just been like, take all the bases. Like, forget this slow expansion stuff.
Right.
He's like, why? There's 3 bases you haven't taken to Muslim. Go take them. Do it. You have a billion command centers.
I feel so bad for Dayshi though. Like this is this was a really well fought battle and a really well fought game, and he just doesn't have what it's gonna take at the end. This is it for sure.
It.
Oh, another CC goes down. Dayshi's like the what's that song about the cat? The cat came back the very next day. It's like Dayshi in this game, man. Like you just wouldn't stay away. But okay, there's no mining left. All of his base is freaking dry. This is it. 116 minerals is where it's going to stay. His income dropping rapidly. He could build like 1 more Raven, maybe. That's what it is.
He's repairing, so he's using up the minerals.
100 supply to 200 supply. Technically, Ravens would win if the Muslim had nothing else behind this, but he does. That's the thing. Is it so much behind this? I can't believe this game has gone to where it has, but Dayshi in the south getting broken once again. The Muslim just storming on in, finally using that income against his opponent. Dayshi, he's gonna lose this game because he's starved out. If he had an infinite supply of money, I think he would have held against the Muslim all day. But that wasn't the case. That isn't the case. He's trying to secure a base up here in the north, but he's losing everything in the south. Look at the resources lost, by the way. That's one point. At one point, I think the Muslim had like a good double the resources lost than that of Dayshi. It's actually even up here towards the end of the game.
Finally.
Oh, we get those meals though.
Army?
Oh no. Oh no. Did he not know that the bio was there or something? What the hell?
I don't think so. Apparently not.
He's trying to repair the CC. This actually causes the Marines to get killed by the tanks. He's gonna save the CC. Marines, please. The Muslim did this without making any air to ground, by the way, so congratulations to him. He didn't take the easy way out. He's like, you know, Dayshi, I recognize you don't have any real anti-air, and I'll just be the gentleman British guy that I am, upstanding and whatnot, and kill you with ground only.
Oh dear God. 190 supply to 60. Dayshi, I don't know, bro. IGK. GG. GG. 56 minutes.
Crazy game. Insane series. Congratulations to Demuslim. He will be the second player out of the group, joining Lilbo as the first 2 players in the round of 8. What I love about this, though, a little bit more than just what we've witnessed, is the fact that it's 1 invited player and 1 qualified player who actually made it through our group. So that's pretty rad.
Cool.